Welcome back. So today we are going to start with a new topic, coastal processes and landforms. As we did in the previous lecture of glacial landforms and glacial environment, we will try our best to show you the examples from the coastal regions, and I'll try my best to show you the examples from Andaman and the coastal landforms which we studied and identified, which indicates the ancient sea level fluctuations or the signature of the paleo sea levels and all that, and how the landform changes over the time. That also we will discuss briefly. And at the end of this part of the coastal process and landforms, I'll also try to show you some with some slides that what we are doing in terms of the tsunami studies. So coastal landforms, of course, is very important because we have a very extensive coastline of the mainland India. If you start from the east to west, so it has we have very long coastline, and of course a lot of people, or we can say the population is extensive, settled along the coastal zones. So coastal landforms or the landscape is extremely important for us to understand, and partly we have discussed in the previous lecture also, where we were talking about the glacial interglacial cycles. So this is another important aspect that which will be of concern for all of us in terms of the climate change. And if there is a climate change, if we experience more warmer climatic conditions, then the sea level will rise, and the sea level rise will engulf most of the coastal regions which are right now exposed, or which are occupied by the people, or maybe by the settlements, or you can say there are few urban centers, but not all are there. But yes, of course they will be engulfed by the high sea level. And one of the region which will be affected the most and very quickly will be the areas of the Sundarban, because the height of, or we can say the elevation with respect to the mean sea level is hardly 1 meter or 2 meters. So if 1 meter there is slight change in the sea level, it will try to inundate most of the regions of that area. Now this is not a very quick phenomena, but of course as we discussed in the tectonic geomorphology part, that such fluctuations or the change in the base level, not exactly we are talking about right now, like I'm saying about the coastal landforms, but if we consider about the tectonic geomorphology, we talked about the base level change of the rivers in Himalayas. So similarly, if there is a deformation along the subduction zones, then the landscape will change, and then subduction zone earthquakes will result into the uplift or subsidence of the coastal areas. And we would I would say that we have the area in Andaman and Nicobar which experienced such land level change, which was tectonic land level change, and it was not related to the eustatic sea level change. So the land level change, I would say that the land level change means that the area has gone up or area has gone down, and the sea level has remained the same. But if the sea level goes down, then also you will experience, or maybe you can say that the area has emerged. So in that sense, I was talking about the land level change. In eustatic sea level change, if the sea level fall, then you will have the areas will be along the coastal zones will be exposed, and if the sea level rise is there, then then it will be inundated. So let's move ahead with the coastal process and landforms, and this beautiful photograph which you are looking at is from Andaman, the east coast of Andaman, where a small island which got uplifted during 2004 Sumatra Andaman earthquake. So most of us are very fascinated with the landscape or the landforms which are in the coastal zones, and mostly we get fascinated with the beaches. But there are other landforms which are associated, and we walk through most of them if we are visiting, and if some of you have, and some of you if had a chance to visit the coastal areas, then of course you will love to see the beaches and all that. But along with that, there are many other features while you walk through the landscape, but you never notice. So after this lecture on the coastal process and landforms, I hope you will, when you go to such exotic locations, you will be able to see such features and identify such features very easily. The most important aspect of the landscape which usually evolves along the coastal zones, the ocean currents plays an important role. So if you look at the different region, either it is north of equator or south of equator, the ocean currents moves in different directions, and again the ocean currents are affected not only by the wind which are blowing on the surface. So the surface ocean currents will be affected, as well as the ocean currents will get affected by the rotation of the earth, and of course the tidal waves, which we know that it is because of the attraction of sun and moon. But at the same time, the Coriolis effect will also play an important role in the movement of the ocean currents. So red lines with arrows shows the direction, and the reds are the warmer waters, whereas the blue lines are with arrows are showing the cold waters which are moving in the different ocean. And this line is your equator, and this is the legend which has been shown here: the cold water, warm water, current direction, and the wind direction. So this is your wind direction which has been shown here, and what if you look at the Indian part, what we have is mostly the warm currents which are moving in the two oceans, that is Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean. So for us this is important. So the ocean currents which comes from south of equator moves along the coast in the western side, and then again it the same follows and goes out in this direction. So this is important. So if we see to the north of this equator line, then most of the regions will have the clockwise movement of the oceanic current, whereas the southern side will have counterclockwise motion. So in total what we see is that the current moves in 3D fashion, and the surface currents are controlled or affected due to the wind shear which are blowing on the surface of the water. And the modification what we see in terms of the motion or the movement are because of the Coriolis effect, whereas the spiral current motion creates last girays. So basically up to the surface currents of up to like the depth of or the upper part of the 100 meters will be affected by the wind shear. Now the motion or the movement of the currents will also play, as I was talking about, the important role in shaping up the landscape. in many regions along the coastal areas, and also that how the waves are with respect to, or the ocean waters are coming in contact with the landscape. That means the configuration or the geomorphic landscape, geomorphology of the region, whether it is directly coming and meeting the coast or it is oblique. So waves are basically what we see is the undulations formed by wind blowing over the water surface. The waves are governed by one, amount of energy transfer from the wind, and depends on the wind speed, wind duration, and the fetch, that is the extent of water over which the wind blows. So the area which has been covered by the wind blows will also be taken into consideration when you are talking about the formation of the landforms. So in short, if we talk about the waves, then these are the parameters which will govern the wave formation. So amount of energy of waves will depend on the wind speed, wind duration, and the area on which the wind is blowing, and this will affect the ocean water and generate the waves. So if you take a complete section of the wave, then we have the crest and trough. So most of the waves you will find is with the crest and trough, and the important part is that the motion of the waves will vary from its location with respect to the coast, and also with respect to the depth. So as wave approaches the shore, it touches the bottom of the sea at a depth about half the wavelength. So in the deeper part, the motion will be different, but as it moves closer to the coast, the depth varies, as well as the motion in which it was moving. It will be different from the deep waters. So this is due to friction, because when it moves towards the coast, or it approaches the coast, then the depth decreases, and with the shallowness, the friction also increases, and due to increase in the friction, the wave slows down, the wavelength decreases, so the wave height must increase. So close to the coast, you see the wavelength decreases and the wave height increases, whereas in the deep water, the wavelength may be much larger, and the motion will also be different, and the wave height, that is the height which you see of the crest, will be smaller, whereas the height of the crest is larger. So in short, what we can say, that the waves which are moving towards the coast are squeezed, and squeezing off because of the friction which has been is produced between the base of the coastal region, and that will result into the height increase. And because of this, in most of the coastlines, what you see is the surf zone, and this surf zones will be mostly seen close to the beach areas. So before the intertidal zones, you will have surf zone and the backshore areas behind the beach ridges and all that. So usually this phenomena will also result into the formation of the beach ridges, or the aeolian activities which will result into the deposition or the formation of the dunes, and behind the dunes, above mean sea level or at mean sea level, the back marsh will form, and back marsh or lagoonal area. So these are the brackish water which you will see mostly, and during the high tide or super high tide, the water may spill over or pass through the tidal channels and enter into the marshy land, or you can say the lagoons. So these are few very common landforms which you will come across, and all are dependent on the wave action and the coastal configuration, which I was talking about, that the geomorphology of the area and what is the configuration, whether you are looking at the Bay Area or you are having the straight coastline with respect to the direction of the waves and all that. So that will result into the formation of different landforms. So waves will have crest and trough associated, and the height as well as the motion will vary from place to place. In the deeper portion, the motion will be different, and close to the coastal region, the motion will be different. So as the waves approaches the shore, it touches the bottom of the sea at a depth of about half of the wavelength. Due to friction, the wave slows down, wavelength decreases, and the height increases. So wave refraction, so as I was talking about, that depending on the configuration of the landscape, that is coastal landscape, the wave action will also varies, and in some regions the wave reflection what we will see will take place, and this will result into the formation of the different landforms. So, and because the landforms which we see are again in the form of depositional landforms and erosional landforms. So in particularly the Bay areas, where the waves are been moving or directly approaching, will result into the formation of the beaches, and whereas in this region you will have the erosion, and that will result into the formation of the beach in the Bay areas, whereas the headlands, which are the erosional cliffs, in the notch part. So this is how the headlands and the embedments are been formed. Now this is what we see here, is that this part is erosion. So, and the transportation of the sediments will take place and result into the deposition in the Bay area. So you have this notch area, not exactly the notch I am talking about, the sea notches, but it's then sharp peak here, which is directly getting affected and will result into erosion, whereas this region is slightly the Bay area or the pocket where the deposition will take place and will result into the formation of beaches. So at what angle the landforms will be seen by or where the waves will come and meet the land portion, depending on the configuration of the bay of the coastal region, the erosion and depositional features will be seen. So orbital wave motion, this is what we were talking about, that in the deeper part you will have mostly a different motion. So the orbital motion of wave in deep, intermediate and the shallow waters, which has been shown here. So you are having the deeper waters here, so mostly what you will see is circular motion. So the circular motion will be experienced in the deeper water. The wavelength is much larger as compared to what we see the wavelength close to the beach, or maybe close to the coastal region, where it becomes the depth of water depth becomes shallower. Intermediate, it is elliptical, whereas in the shallow waters close to the coastal regions, the motion is like almost flat. So this has been modified to a flat motion. So linear motion. So this is what it shows, that if you are in the deeper part, then you have the motion is almost circular in the deeper waters. As a wave reaches shallow water, it begins to drag against the bottom, and the circular motion becomes flatter. Wave height increases and the length decreases. So the wavelength decreases, whereas the height of the waves increases. Eventually, the front becomes too steep to support the advancing wave. As the rear part continues to move forward, the wave collapses or it breaks. So mostly the breaking wave which you will see here is because of the increase in height and decrease in length. So it will collapse, and which allows the waves to break down, forming turbulent surf. So the surfs which are been formed are because of the waves entering into the shallow areas, and where the height increases and length of the waves decreases, and that will result into the turbulent waves or the surf that rushes onto the shore. So these are a few things which are important. So another example of coastal landforms, what you see here is the Bay area is here, whereas this is the typical example of the erosional landform and headlands. So coastal landforms mainly related to sea or ocean and land contact. Landforms are basically the result of one, sea level fluctuation. High sea level, we can correlate this with interglacials. So when we are looking or experiencing the warmer climate, so sea level will rise because of the excess melting of the snow or glaciers. And then low sea is glacial period, when more and more water is been stored as an ice or snow. So sea waves, wave erosions or erosion caused by wave action, so that will result into the formation of the landform. An example which we were looking in the previous slide is the headland and the formation of the beach. So the erosion can also result into the formation of cliffy coastlines, as we were looking at the photographs a few seconds back. So further, due to tectonic movement also, we see the formation of the landforms. So you can have the cliffy banks, you can have the formation of cliffy banks, formation of the headlands, or you can say the terraces, as we saw the terraces, fluvial terraces, when we are talking about the fluvial landforms. Here what we say is the change in the sea level, either it is tectonic or eustatic, because of the climatic effect, glacial interglacial period, we can see or we will experience the formation of marine terraces. Now coming to this part of the littoral drift, usually what we see is the waves breaking along the shore generate tremendous energy to move sediments along the shoreline in a process called lateral drift. Now, this lateral drift in different location will allow us to see the formation of different landforms. So, the red arrow shows the wave action and the backflow or the backwash of the waves, which will result into the formation of beach. Now, the drift direction, what you see here is the ocean water is coming here and getting down here. So, the drift direction is this one here. So, the beach drift, what we see is the swash and the backwash. So, swash and the backwash move the sand and gravel along the beach in the zone of breaking waves. Okay. So, we will stop here and we will try to continue in the next lecture. So, in next lecture further we will see more of landforms and then how the waves are important or they play an important role in developing or creating the landforms or the landscape along the coastline. Thank you so much.